Hi guys, let's finish an old drawing today. So I got this big old sketchbook. Let's see, we got the cat one. Nah. Tree one. Nah. Flower thing. Nah. Oh, I might have to blur that one out. Oh, look at my dog. No. Oh, swatch page. What can I do with that? I mean, it's a swatch page. No. Keep it as a swatch page. Did you see how many paints I bought of that kind, though? It was a lot. Oh, let's finish this nice big old line work. Yeah. Here was the reference photo. I'm going to use it again. See? See up close. See what it is. See? Not bad, right? Lots of black. Lots of dark. Shadow areas are very pretty. And we're going to keep it just black and white today. I sometimes like doing these without any other color, just me and this brush pen. It's black and white and very starkness. And I know this is kind of a very stylized way of drawing. Let me zoom in a bit because I'm going to do a lot of details in that bark. It's a very beautiful part of the drawing. I like it. But there's a very stylized way of drawing nature that I kind of accidentally fell into when I was out on a trip. Specifically, out on this trip. Oh, look, I'm a mess, aren't I? But when I was on vacation with this trip, when I was out in the Smokies, is when I kind of, I wouldn't say figured out how to draw like this, but I got better at it. I spent a lot of time on that trip doing this kind of art. And it's really stuck with me at this stage of life that I want my art to look like this. I really do. I really enjoy the feel of these black and white drawings. And of course, when I throw a watercolor on top of them too. An important part of being an artist is actually liking the art that you produce, because, artist secret here, let me tell you, quite a few of us don't like most of the stuff that we produce. It's just, there's gaps between what your brain wants to do and what your hands can actually produce. And you go through cycles of one of those things improves before the other one. So sometimes my brain figures out something that I want that my hands can't do yet, and I have to work at getting to that stage where my hands can do the thing that I want. And I'm right now at a stage where both of those things are the same, and my brain and my hands are the same for this particular style of art. Now, there are, of course, other styles of art that I still have a lot of work to do in, but with this particular thing, this particular feel, I feel very at ease with it. I feel very happy with it. It's very at peace for me. It's a very healthy part of learning about the arts and learning how to get better and improve your arts, to go through those cycles. It's very important to do that, to feel that uncomfortableness of the difference between what the brain wants and what the hands can do. It keeps going. You keep having those cycles. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing this, or how far along the skill tree you happen to be. It's an important thing to watch out for, because it can help you. It can help you improve your art, to recognize those phases that you go through. People always look at me with horror when I tell them that I don't keep all my art. I don't feel very attached to most of it. Well, it's because, I like maybe 1 out of every 12 things I do. It's part of the cycles. It's part of growing your skills. And I know there's a lot of people out there who think art is a very anxiety-inducing thing to do. Some people they become anxious when they try to paint something that their brain wants but their hands can't do. And I don't want anybody to feel anxious about art. Art is such a lovely process of expressing yourself. And if your brain can't do one of the kinds of arts, maybe you need to try a different kind of art. At least for me, it's a very integral part of being human and sharing experience with other people. So if there are any art babies out there who want to try this kind of art, please do. There's no judgment for me from what your outcome looks like. I'm just happy that somebody tried. It's a lovely way to communicate. It really is. So go out and get one of these brush pens. At least for me, it's a very integral part of doing this style of art. It's very difficult to do these brush strokes without having this particular very stout pen. It for some reason, I was unable to do this style before I found this pen. So sometimes a style and a part of art improvement is actually related to the tools you're using. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's not just your hands being unable to do something. Sometimes it's actually related to the tools. I cannot tell you how many engineer folk, nice engineer folk that I've met over the years that have, I wouldn't say had a regret, that's not the right word, but have felt like they've missed being able to do art. And now let me tell you, you can do art. Engineers can do art. It's okay. Now, there's a few things you have to kind of chill out about. Engineers have trained their brains to be very specific and very, very intentional in the way that they process things. Now, there are very specific things about nature. Of course there are. There are lots of flowers and leaf patterns and those sorts of things that follow a regular fractal pattern. It's a very interesting part of the flora and fauna of nature. And I find it absolutely fascinating. But let me tell you, art and math are not separate. They really aren't. I promise you can do both. It's okay. You can do both. Don't be scared. It just may take a little bit of time for your brain and your hands to align in their skills, but that's okay. You got your little art auntie Melissa if you need it. And I got a little bit of extra encouragement if you need it too. It's okay. I promise. It's okay. We're here to learn and grow and make some cool stuff. And I know this is wildly off a topic, but I really have been lusting over the new 3D printers, the ones that are resin based. Oh, I want one. I want one very badly, but I'm going to wait a while. Because as with all new technology that comes out, when it first comes out, the first gen is expensive. Of course, first off, expensive. And also, it is not always. There's usually some kinks to work out, so I'm gonna wait a little while, but it shall be mine eventually. Because guess who wants to learn more about sculpting in 3D? Oh yes, I do. Maybe you do too. We'll have a good time. But I started this channel as an excuse to learn new stuff. Not that you need it. You don't need an excuse to learn new stuff, but it's a reason for me to learn new stuff. It's a reason for me to try new stuff. And that's what I want, you know? I want that resin printer. I really, really do. But I'm gonna be a good girl. I'm gonna wait. I've got got a lot of experience in different kinds of softwares, the CAD softwares, the 3D softwares, and all that kind of good stuff. This is not out of my skill set at all. It's just I'd never used those kind of things well, I can't say I haven't used it in art form, but I haven't used it in a way that's not so engineering. So we'll do some cool art sculpture stuff with that resin printer someday when I get it. Maybe this style with this brush pen can translate into 3D. I wonder what that would be like. Wouldn't that be a fun project? See, I have so many ideas that my little body can't even handle all of them. Like, it would take 80 lifetimes to actually fulfill all of these ideas that I have. So, we'll do some of them. And with luck, with the push that is this channel, I'll get to do even more than I have before. Heck yeah. So join me on this journey. Let's have a good time, make some cool stuff. That's what I want to do. And I am incredibly grateful that anybody at all would even want to see me fuss around with new art mediums and make paintings and sculptures and all kinds of stuff. It's just so interesting that anybody would even be interested at all in this, because this is what I do in my free time. This is what I do by myself. It's not really a change in behavior at all for me. The only change is that I'm sharing it with internet people. The change is that I learned this editing software. I learned how to voiceover. I learned how to publish the thing. I learned how to animate so I could do a intro graphic. I learned how to record a little bit of music so I could do a little jingle in the beginning. It's a wonderful excuse to talk to people about the fun projects I'm doing. I'm just having such a good time. I hope y'all are too. I'm sure you could tell in my voice how just happy this makes me. It really does. Didn't this one turn out lovely? I really like this one. It's very at peace, but it's a very dark piece, of course. But at least for me, it is at peace. It does feel at peace to me. A lot of movement, which is what would be the case if you were, deep in the woods as I was in this photo. What a lovely way to share a moment that I had in the woods by myself. I was on the trail by myself this time. In the middle of a whole bunch of dappled light, the movement of the leaves and clear sky. There she is. Thanks guys. I had a good time with this one. Oh no! You saw my candy corn. You didn't see the candy corn, right? Nobody saw the candy. We're just looking at art.